Where is the spice? Where is the flavor? I want someone to lose a limb or a genital.
A lot of girls would literally be like $100 for one butt cheek.
Is that my ex? Shit, your ex is here.
On the count of 5, we say our intro and get started.
Okay.
Okay, so
I thought you were going.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Hi guys, these are your hosts, Sofi and Elani. I hope you're all having a good day. I sound so bored. Also, I have so much to tell you.
That sounded very convincing.
Have you been on a lot of Zoom dates lately?
I've been on a couple. I went on a Zoom date with this guy whose name I can't remember. I know it starts with like an S. Oh, come on. Give me a break. It was the first one.
Okay.
But I think he's like a paralegal. I don't think it's a match though, because I told him I did like my main hobby was like stand up and comedy, and he like did not even care at all. He was just like, oh cool, what else do you do? And I was just like, that's it, that's the joke, that's the punchline, like these are the jokes, kid. Like I was like,
You're supposed to like kiss my feet after that.
Yeah,
I fucking love comedy. I bet you can make me laugh for hours. Yeah, so dating's not a thing for me right now.
and that's totally understandable.
I know, but I've been texting this one guy, and he told me today, he texted me and was like, so I was watching your podcast, episode 2, and my mom was asking who you were. Yes.
No.
I was watching it with his mom.
No.
And like, okay, so he's younger than me, obviously, and he was like, yeah, and it was like, she heard the part where I was like, I always date and fuck younger guys than me. And he said, she asked, like, so are all her exes younger?
I can't believe he listened to it with his mom. Oh my God, Sophie. Okay.
Oh God.
I'll have to tell you when we're done with this, because I'm not admitting it on camera. Okay, I'm not. So I will just tell it to you later. I'm sure.
Okay. It's safe to say that this podcast is not getting us laid. Like, it's ruining our life, like romantic and sex life, pretty much. So that's cool. What else? I did the Survivor thingy. I did. That was
yeah. How did that work? Like, what did you guys like? How do you Zoom a Survivor episode?
Well, so what was on Zoom was like the finale. The host is this super, super cool guy named John. And so we went through the season like on Snapchat. It was like 2 eliminations a day. So it was like super fast. And the challenges are all on Snapchat. And everything is the same as like real Survivor. And they're casting for season 2 now on their Instagram, which is, I think, just Snapchat Survivor. Because I was the villain of the season. Made a few
enemies. Surprising.
Burned a few bridges. I know. So they didn't like me. So, you know, we tried.
What did you do? Did you tell them one of your sets?
No, I did nothing. They just didn't fucking like me from the beginning. So then I started like playing the villain role because I was like, y'all don't like me anyway. So I started just being a bitch to everybody just because I could. And that killed my game at the end. They were like, we played a good game, but you were a bitch, so we don't like you. And I was like, all right, well, I tried.
That's unfortunate.
Anyway, that was fun. That's how my last week has been occupied. It's not dating. I haven't even masturbated. That's how busy I've been doing fucking school Survivor podcasts. Like, I haven't my vagina's not been touched. Like,
that is a rarity.
I'm sure you have Hector sitting next to you.
That is a rarity. Actually, yes, but I actually haven't been doing much with him. He just shows up for sets, and that's about it.
That's true. Do you ever use him during sex with a guy?
I think once.
I wish more guys were like cool with like using sex toys during sex and like not like intimidated by that, you know?
I know a few that are cool with them.
Yeah, but like a lot of them just like don't think it's necessary.
True, or they get like jealous.
Yeah, like
it's weird.
My dick's not enough, and I'm like, no,
like, no, David, it's not. Like, How did you think that your 6 inches that can barely hold up for 15 minutes would do anything against my vibrator titanium 3000? Be real.
I was just watching this sitting next to me, and I realized this would be good ASMR.
I don't know why, but that's giving me flashbacks to World War III.
The lip gloss?
All the smacking.
Just lip gloss. Okay.
I don't know, Sophie. It's just very... It touched something, okay?
Let's talk about our guest.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to interview him tonight. We're going to do it tomorrow because bitch is tired. It's late. And yeah. Yeah, his name is Jimmy, and you can go ahead and ask me whatever you want.
Yes. So, Jimmy, he's like one of your first and few white guys that you've been with. Is that?
No, not at all. I've been with many, many white guys, and he was not one of my first. But he's the first white guest of mine on this podcast.
Okay, well, there's something.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just go ahead and get started, and we'll just keep it short and simple. So how did you guys meet?
So the year was 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I went to visit his friend, who is my friend from high school, up in the mountains in North Carolina. Like he picked me up and I went to stay there with his friend, and then like Jimmy and his girl at the time, I don't think they were dating, but some girl came to hang out with us, and that's where I met Jimmy. But it was awkward because I was with his friend, so I couldn't like flirt with him or anything, but I thought he was so cute. And back then he had like little shaggy hair, like he was like so cute, and I was like, fuck. So that's how we met officially. But then like fast forward like a year, no, less than a year, like I don't know, he almost hooked up with my sister,
And I hope.
yeah, so they matched on Tinder while we were up in the mountains, my sister and I was like, yeah, go hook up with him, because I didn't think I was gonna. I was like, yeah. So they almost hooked up, but then like he never came, and they just didn't. And then like months later, I don't know who initiated it, I don't remember, but I ended up driving up to stay with him for like a day or like a weekend or something. I don't know.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, cool. So who made the first move?
I'll just stick to my, like, I don't know who asked who or who did that. Once I was up there, he made the first move because he was helping me pick up pictures for like something that I don't want to mention, and like we were drinking wine and he like came up behind me. I like, you sometimes you just remember that first kiss with someone.
Yes.
Yeah, like it was like one of those. Like I was like on my laptop like doing this, and like he came up, I was sitting on a chair, he came up behind me, walked up and like moved my head up and like kissed me from like that, and I was like, huh. So it was cute.
Jimmy's got skills. Go Jimmy. Okay, so what was your favorite and least favorite thing about him?
My favorite is he was a really good sexter. I feel like I'm shitty at sexting because I'm lazy at it. I'll literally just be like, yeah, what else?
This is so true.
What else do you want? Okay, yeah, I would love that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just super lazy. I'll just say like the minimum amount because you guys don't need that much. You know, you could just say little, like it'll be enough for them. So I'm just lazy at it, but like he is really good at it. He'll type up like paragraphs of like really detailed like sexual but romantic stuff. Like I remember loving that about him. Yeah. And then my least favorite, what's my least favorite thing about? Well, I don't know if I have like a least favorite thing about him. I just know there was one time, the first time I went to stay with him, where like I think it was the first time we had sex or something, but he kept like doing it from behind, like whether it was like all the positions were like that, whether we were like standing or sitting or kneeling or whatever, like it was all different positions in which he was behind me. And like I remember thinking it was weird because I was like, damn, did he like think I'm ugly? Like what the fuck? Like I barely, like why is he like, you know what I mean, so pressed on like it having to be like that.
Yeah.
But I called him out and he was like, oh no, it's just like what I like better, but like it wasn't supposed to be anything. So he changed, and then like after that, like it wasn't like that. But I think that like threw me off about him at first.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess there could be worse things about a man.
Yeah.
Honest. Okay. Did you guys ever have feelings for each other?
I can't speak for him. I don't know how he feels, but I don't know if I ever had like feelings for him. I mean, yeah, I think like I liked him. I think I never let them develop because we didn't live close to each other. But I think that there was always and probably will always be just a little bit of feelings there, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Like, when you say a little bit of feelings, like on a scale of 1 to 10, like, is that a 4?
I fucking hate your scales. I don't know how to put.
Okay, fine. On a scale of like, I am okay with never seeing this person again and it was chill when we were together, to like, oh my God, I could see myself with him forever. Where do you fall?
If that's 1 and that's 10, I would say like 4. But that's a lot. Like, you know?
For you.
Like that's
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Could you ever be in a serious relationship with Jimmy?
So I think that first he would have to live closer to me. At least somewhere that was like within a few hours driving. Like he's really far right now. And then like my only like really thing with him is that he's white and I don't no longer date white guys. And so maybe if he wasn't white for sure, but I don't know.
That's government classified information, I guess. Okay, so how was the sex? It's just like how we had to take a step, like, okay.
No, I just never, it's always such an awkward question, but like the sex was good. I don't remember. Yeah, the sex is good. I'll just say that. Yeah.
That's it? You're not gonna go into like detail? Ugh. I'm disappointed.
I have a really bad memory and it was like 4 years ago. So
that's true. And you're older than me and I don't want to press. I know how hard it is.
I know, I'm like
We're the elderly.
Alzheimer's at this point, like dementia's creeping in, so
At the ripe old age of 26. Okay, I live with my grandma. I get it. All right, so last question is, why did you guys drift apart?
Oh god, fuck, I hate this. Okay, so the last time that I went to stay with him in 2017, and the first night I was there was like amazing. We literally had like probably I would say the best sex we've ever had. And then like the next morning I was gonna leave, but like so we had sex and it, like I went down on him and then he like then we just fucked. Like it wasn't reciprocated that morning. And like I know that like he'd done it before. I felt weird about him not doing it in that moment for some reason. Like I was like, damn, really? And then like we went to get food and he like didn't pay for my food and it was literally like tacos. Like it wasn't like an expensive meal. It was like we went to get tacos. I had drove up like an hour and a half to visit him.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't even like pay for my food or fucking like give me head the next morning. Like I was like really confused. And so like I drove home and I was like, what? And I texted him when I got home and I was like, I don't like this. Like it just, we're still friends and we still are, but like I think I never went to visit him again. We just kind of drifted apart after that, I think. But I mean he was like, I just didn't even think about like you know, there was no like ill intentions. It was just awkward. So I would say that's why we drifted. And then I moved anyway. So it yeah.
Well, and that's that.
Yes.
Although I think you failed to mention an important part about Jimmy's story is that he's actually older than you, which is not something that you usually do.
Yes, but I'm glad you mentioned it. The last guest I had, which was Aaron, is like 29.
Oh, really? He doesn't. Never mind. Let me not say that on camera. He doesn't look 29.
Yeah, so so Jimmy's not the first guest that's older than me. So
But you didn't mention it about Aaron, now that I think about it.
I did. I mean, because I've actually never been in a relationship with someone younger than me.
I think we know why.
Yeah, and the younger guy thing started recently.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, that's not true. Fuck, I've always been like that. I took a guy's virginity when he was 15 and I was 17. And then I took another guy's virginity when he was 17 and I was 19.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. But for the most part, it's a newer thing. So, anyway, yes, Jimmy's like exactly a year older than me. So, whatever, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I think that wraps up my questions for you. And I'm excited to meet Jimmy tomorrow.
Thank God. Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jimmy.
Yeah, of course. How are you?
Good. We're just hanging in there. 2 bitches in quarantine, you know?
Same.
Elani's gonna interview you.
Okay.
And I can't speak. So.
Yeah, Sophie is not allowed to interject or add an opinion, which is very difficult for her to do.
I'm sure it is. But we'll see if she can manage.
You would know. Okay. So we're just going to start off with softball questions, and they'll get increasingly harder, just like your interactions with her in bed. Okay. So my first question for you, Jimmy, is how did you guys meet?
I think it's one of those classic things where we kind of knew each other from where we grew up in Winston, but we finally met up in Boone. She was actually coming to visit a friend of mine.
Okay.
When she came up, and that's when we met finally in person. Mm-hmm. And after that, we just had many interactions between online and in person. But yeah, it'd be 2013, maybe 2014. Mm-hmm. I think I was a junior in college.
Oh, so yeah, you were a young boy.
Yeah, but I'm actually older than Sophie, I believe. So.
Yes, she told me that, and I was like, "What? Someone who isn't younger than you?"
Well, because she posted that thing about being called a cougar, and I was like, well, I hate to break the track record, but you know.
A mini cougar. She's a mini cougar because technically she's under 30, but she's already getting herself set up for a path towards.
Does a cougar have to be over 30? Is that a thing?
Yes, I'm going to say it is.
Okay,
because
we can make a definition.
Yeah, why not? It's 2020. This is half my show. So
damn right.
I'm just gonna say that it is. Okay, so who made the first move?
Man, I'm not really quite sure. I mean, maybe it was me, but I feel like there was a mutual attraction there. So it's one of those things where once the first move was made, it just kind of rolled, you know? Because when we met, she was visiting, a dude friend of mine, and I was kind of like, damn. And I think she had a similar reaction, so that's kind of where the ball got started.
Ooh. Okay, cool. Okay, so what were your favorite and least favorite things about Miss Sophie?
I mean, I actually enjoy how outspoken and talkative she is, someone who can actually have an opinion and put a foot down on certain things, but I feel like that also in itself can be kind of overwhelming sometimes to people. So, and I feel like in itself, that is her best and worst trait, but I mean, I love it.
Well, that's good. It's really funny when we interviewed my ex, Steven, what was it, last week? He basically said that was his most and least favorite thing about me was that I was outspoken. He was like, yeah, Elani is really passionate, but sometimes it's too much. And I was like, uh-oh.
He's white.
You're not allowed to talk, ma'am. You broke the rule. But yes, he is white.
Half my podcast too, bitch.
But you made the rule. You made the rule that you're not allowed to talk. You made it, not me. I'm just trying to adhere.
We both came up with the idea of the podcast. Don't undersell yourself.
Jimmy,
okay,
if you only knew.
Teamwork, you guys are killing it. Hell yeah.
If you only knew, Jimmy.
Oh, bless.
Oh, man. Okay.
But,
well, yeah, she is very opinionated, and I do appreciate that about her. That's
well, then I don't want to copy that guy's answer. So then I'll say also, I do her personality is one of my favorite things because it's so exuberant and like positive, and you don't get many people like that. So
Very
beyond
true.
that, that kind of passionate thing, because I mean, I respect that on its own. I just like that she's like an exuberant and positive person and just does her thing.
That's
I think that's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, Jinx, gotcha.
Yeah, that's so sweet that you feel that way about her. We do too. All right, so I'm gonna move on to a different question. Did you ever have feelings for Sophie? Like deeper feelings? Sophie, stop. You're not allowed to talk. Just
I definitely think so.
Mhm.
Her and I have always kind of been off and on in that kind of sense, but never too serious. But I feel like if we ever actually lived closer to each other, we could actually, could have done something like that in a more serious relationship. So yeah, definitely. Because I like to think I wouldn't get involved with someone if I didn't actually feel a certain way about them.
Yeah, and that's I think that's a good thing. I myself don't like just flings with somebody that I barely know. It doesn't feel right. Yeah,
Exactly. Definitely.
that's
And me, Sophie and I used to talk all days and hours of the time. So, I mean, definitely feel like I had, feelings for her at some point in time.
oh, that's sweet. Okay, that's precious.
Try to
Moving
stop being so
on.
sweet.
Yeah, now yeah, so give me something like I don't know. Well, actually, no, this is good because we're trying to make this more family friendly, and so far,
Oh, we are? Okay. All right. Nailing
no,
it.
we haven't really succeeded at all. But we're
Crazy.
so okay. How was the sex?
I mean, I think we pretty much had fantastic sex most of the time.
Hmm.
Yeah. Do I grade this or am I supposed to describe it?
Do you want to grade it? Do you want to get in trouble? Like it's up to you.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna put that on you.
If we can blank it, we'll just give an A. I mean, hell yeah.
Okay, so she's a straight A student. I knew it.
Of
She's so
course she is. She
smart.
wouldn't fail in that topic for sure.
No. Okay. So could you ever be in a serious long-term relationship with Sophie?
I mean, yeah, I feel like Sophie's easy to get along with. So, like, yeah, definitely.
Cool.
I feel like that's an easy answer right there. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if
you're so
someone's easy to get along with, I mean, hell yeah. If they're not, then like easy, no. Like,
there you go. You're so agreeable. All right. So my last question is why did you guys drift apart?
I mean, really, we always kind of saw each other, but there was always distance there. And
Mm-hmm.
then, the move to DC, and I'm still in North Carolina. I'm in Charlotte right now. Is really
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing that we kind of have drifted apart. We still keep in contact every now and then, but really that's just the main thing. Like I said earlier, if we were not necessarily as far apart, could have been
Yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Timing and distance is hell of a bitch.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. It sounds like altogether it was a positive experience. Sophie, you can talk now. You loud ass bitch. Oh, there's your kitty.
Thank you. Yeah, he
You're
opened the
welcome.
door and it scared me.
Oh,
Uh,
I want to see him. Put his face.
oh, here we go.
There he is. Oh, he's so precious. He's so
Being
fat.
shy. It's okay.
Yes. But yeah, Sophie, did you want to add anything to this, or?
He never answered. What was the least favorite thing?
Well, I think he changed it.
Right, but he didn't change it to anything.
Oh, well, that should be a good thing, right?
No, she wants me to say something. You can
She
tell.
does.
I mean,
she's got to have something there. But
there's always
I
a
mean,
least favorite thing.
what would it? Dudes do fall for you all the time, so I guess that would be something where that would be kind of like unfortunate if I was like trying to be in a relationship with you. But again, like we were so always casual. I feel like when we were together, like wasn't really a reason to have that negativity there.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to be so agreeable, but but I don't know. Yeah, I really just like like the things I said really kind of stick out. Like Sophie will tell you if you're fucking up, so that's always kind of like hard to take. You can
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it for what it's worth, but it always kind of sucks when you're being told like you're actually fucking up. She won't
Yeah.
like bite her tongue in that way, shape, or form. So I mean, those have got to be the only really two things I find negative. Like she doesn't have a bad personality, doesn't have like negative traits in that kind of sense. She's not
Mm-hmm.
toxic, thank
Yeah.
God.
Well, okay then. That's
You able
great.
to talk right now, or is she still muted?
Oh, she's able to talk. I'm just
Oh,
watching
okay.
Simba. He's so cute. Simba, do you have anything to say about this relationship, sir?
He
He's got nothing.
he's never met Jimmy, I guess.
I never went to your place, if you remember.
Yeah.
So Sophie, do you feel like his answers matched up with yours?
I feel like they did. Most of them, I feel like they definitely did. I feel like I didn't sugarcoat things as much as he did, maybe.
That's fine.
But it also, like, we probably have a different perception of what happened because that's just how life is. But I talked about something you didn't, which is how you almost fucked my sister.
Sweet.
It felt kind of relevant.
The critical piece of information. So
I feel like it wasn't ever that close to happening. I'm not really quite sure if we have a different perspective on this or not.
Well, it was when we were in Todd and we were staying at a like mountain house and y'all matched on Tinder and like you were gonna go over that night and I went to sleep early. I was like, yeah, like he's cute, you should do it. And I went to bed early and I woke up the next day just assuming like you came over and stuff, but she was like, he didn't. So I think that was all it was really. But I have no idea who made the first move as far as like which of us like first said, oh, let's hang out. I don't remember.
I feel like we talked for a long time before that even became a thing, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but that was 2016, right?
No, I mean, it may have been 2015 because when we met was 2014.
We met in 2015.
Was it 2015?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we met in like June 2015, and you and my sister thing, that was in like early 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So you and I might have been
you
like,
encouraged it for a while.
Yeah. I mean, because I thought you were cute, and I thought like, I don't know, why not? Try to be a good sister.
And then we end up fucking instead. Very nice.
Yeah.
The best sister.
That happens a lot with me and my sister.
so dead.
Does that happen vice versa? Does she do the same to you, or is that just like you? Oh.
No. But what else? I think I talked about, do you remember the first time I visited you? I'm telling Elani I'm quitting this podcast after this. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, right.
This shit is too awkward. Do you remember the first time I visited how like I can't even say it. I can't even do it. I can't do it. Hang on.
I believe in you. You got this.
You remember how I complained about something?
I think I might remember, yeah. I'll let you say it though. You got this.
I mean, I said it already, but not to your face.
If you know, Jimmy, you should just say it.
Are you talking about the reciprocation of oral sex?
That's one of the things.
One of the things. Yeah.
That was the last time I saw you.
I remember that, but what about the first time?
It was like, oh, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it. You'll just have to hear the episode. I can't do it. But anyway, change the subject.
Can I tell him?
Sure. I can't say it.
She didn't like how you always did.
He knows about it, but I just don't want to repeat.
She didn't like how you always did it from the back because she was wondering if you felt like she was ugly, and that's why you didn't want to like do like.
God no. I think it's just my favorite position, and personally, I feel like I perform better sexually in that position. But I'm also.
We've talked about it since and it hasn't been the same since. Like it was just that first time I visited.
I think maybe it's one of those things where like when we first hung out, and we first had sex, like as a dude, you're kind of like, all right, like you imagine like how you perform the best, And so like in that position, it being my favorite and like the most versed I'm in, obviously I might be more, experienced nowadays, you know what I mean? So like back in the day, like to me, that was like, penultimate, like, position for me and my ability to like perform there.
Yeah.
Whereas once we talked about it, and obviously I've kind of become more mature in like, multiple ways that you kind of realize that's definitely not the case, Variety can definitely be the spice of life in all areas and definitely sexually too.
Very true.
Look how cool Jimmy is.
I know, just very calm, level-headed.
I told you I'm not going to be awkward about this. I mean, we fucked and we're talking about it on camera. It just is what it is. I was waiting for you to grill me, Elani. Definitely, for sure.
Well, I can't just ask you like what your dick looks like because we have to post this on Spotify. Like,
I mean, I can try and describe. I'm not even sure how to go about describing that in words.
I
Like,
told you last time you should ask. I mean,
well, okay. What does your dick look like?
I don't know. From a quote from Sofi, she called it very pretty after the first time we had sex. I remember that actually, you know, a dude, if you get a comment about your dick, you're going to take that to the moon and back, you know, to the grave for sure. So like, I remember that, but I mean, like, I feel like it's just a regular dick. I don't know.
I'm regular 9 to 5 dick.
I mean, seriously, I mean, like, I'm not a 9-inch hammer, and I'm completely content to say that. Like, I'm okay.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have drove out of town more than once if.
Exactly.
I like remember the moment.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, for sure. So you know what I said was like, I said what my favorite thing about you was that I think that you're a really good sexter because I'm a really lazy one, and I'll just be like, yep. So what else? Like, I just be like saying the least possible, but you're like good at it. But
oof, I hate that you think that. Like, I hate that you're social justice-y. Like, again, like, I love it at the same time. Remember, I said it's the best and worst thing because, like,
yeah,
I honestly love it when you're going to stand up for everything that you should. I mean, I think that's awesome. I mean, as a white dude, I don't have much to stand up for other than other people. So, like, I may as well try and help out in that scenario. I'm not some super awesome guy. I'm just a regular person who sees things as they are. That's how I view myself, you know. Other people should view it the same way. So I hate that I feel like I said that you shouldn't be outspoken or something like that. But just, you know, you're very passionate, and I fucking love that. Obviously, just every now and then, not everyone's going to agree with everything, you know. We're human beings. Just is what it is.
Sophie, I know you don't like white guys, but if you don't lock it down with Jimmy, I will sue.
I mean, okay, what did I say when you asked me if I would be in a serious relationship with him?
You said you would.
Except what? It wasn't that simple of an answer though.
Well, I can't remember everything. I'm on my third thing of champagne.
It was pretty layered. I said if he lived near me, or we had a car, and he wasn't white for sure. But if he lived near me and he was still white, then probably yes.
So, like, just leave out the white part, my dude.
I was going to say,
I would have to think about it. I would have to.
Okay. Well, what is there to, like, think about other than, like, your own?
Making that exception and then, like,
Well, like, I don't know. I feel like you can make certain exceptions for certain people. Like.
So I feel like white guys, or white people in general, they can be, like, consciously very, like, not racist at all, but like something's gonna come out that's just like innate in the way they were raised that's gonna make me uncomfortable.
It's a mental decision for sure. It's an active, like,
you have to constantly be like checking yourself, and so do like everybody, you know what I mean? But it's just like,
well, like, as a white dude, I can completely comment that this is like correct. So like, as long as you make that mental, like, cognitive decision to, you know, not perpetuate that and encourage that in your own life, and actually also step up and say something, and, you know,
I try to just, like, accept everybody for where they're at, and if you're being problematic, correct them. If they continue to be problematic, then, I mean, don't be friends with them. But if you correct them, they do better and they continue to do better, then just kind of, like, move on. But
I'll take it as a compliment to be the exception possibility.
That's how you should take it. Mm-hmm. Like, when one time I had a guy tell me that if I was fat, he wouldn't want to date me. That turned me off so fast. I don't like dating races. I don't like fat phobic people, transphobic people. I don't put up with it or deal with it. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If I could date like a bisexual, Jewish, Latino guy, obviously I would, you know, but like,
there's tons of those. I mean,
right. I mean, it's just less of a chance that like something problematic will come up regarding like race or ethnicity, just because they've had to deal with it themselves.
Right.
So it just like is less likely that they, you know what I mean? Just because they know what it's, especially if they're Latino, like we can relate in that way. But it's not like I'm going to say I'll never date a white person ever again. It's just like, I moved to DC. It's easy here to avoid it. Like when I was in North Carolina, that's like all I fucking dated. But now, like, I don't have to, you know? So like,
no, that's true.
Won't like,
I mean, like, I will say that, like, the last boyfriend that I had, very white, very pale, I don't think he really knew how prevalent racism was in our town until we started dating. We would go to bars and stuff, and we'd be, that was our date night. And somebody would come up to us and they'd be like, "This is so nice to see." And I was like, "What's nice to see?" And they would just be like, "Well, we never see like a white guy with like a black girl. That's interesting." And then they would ask him like what motivated him to date me. And he was just like,
Attraction?
Okay, if you and Sophia were together right now, would you guys hook up? Yes or no?
As long as she was into it, yeah.
So romantic.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna sit here like, yeah, she totally want to hook up with me. I feel like that's a little
No, I think that's sexy to ask for consent. That's good.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys were like, Jesus.
No,
I definitely would. Like, it's one of those things where, like, if Sophie wanted to, like, get down, then yeah, I feel like we'd have a good time. But if we wanted to just go explore DC and just go have a good time as friends, we probably could do that too. I find it hard to believe there wouldn't be sexual tension if we were in the same room together.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me personally. I don't know. It has been a while, but I feel like we always had sparks when we were together in the same room. So
mm-hmm. That's sweet. The standards are they're out the window at this point.
I know. You're dating Hector now.
He doesn't even talk.
Is he there? Elani, why is he always sitting there?
Why not?
Just in case.
It's my core boyfriend.
I can't. Just watch us do the podcast episodes.
He's very skeptical.
I know you talked about like the sexting thing, and really I feel like we've always just kind of get along talking wise. So like I'm a stoner, so like when I smoke, my imagination just sparks. It's just kind of easy to go along with the flow. I don't know if that makes sense,
Yeah, but I feel like most guys are just kind of like, "Oh, here's my dick." What? Like okay. I don't.
No girl just wants to get a dick pic as a sext. I feel like that is just like very like brass, like like there's no. If like think about it, if you were in person, I wouldn't just whip out my dick, right? Like I would have foreplay. I would, like there would be actual build up to like an actual sensation and experience. Like comparatively, like same thing with sexting.
True.
Like at that point in time, it's just over and there's no fun involved. I mean, the whole fun is to like, in my personal opinion, is to delve into that person's brain and get them to be a little more imaginative and like descriptive and actually kind of like delve into that, Because otherwise, you're just like, yeah, we would fuck totally so hard, yes.
But that's like, that's not only how guys sex. That's how I fucking sex. I'm lazy. I'm just like, what else you want to do?
I get better out of you. I get better sexy out of you, totally, 100%.
But I mean, I feel like you bring out the good sexter in me, maybe. But I'm lazy still. Like, I'll let you carry the conversation anyway. Because
I'll be a little bit lazier in my next sex.
No, please don't.
Let you carry the weight on that one.
Elani, should we do some?
Don't say it.
ASMR.
Do you guys do ASMR?
Every episode, we do 30 seconds of unplanned ASMR. You ready, Jimmy?
I am. Do I just get to listen?
Set a timer.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
I guess.
Let me turn up the gain.
What are we even telling it this time?
We don't plan it. That's the point. I turn up the gain all the way. Okay.
Bitch. ASMR. Ready?
All right. Go.
You go first. It's your thing.
Okay. Why do I have to go first? Jimmy, you have to do it too.
Jimmy doesn't. It's totally fine.
I think
Joe's getting yelled right now. I don't know. I think she does too. Oh my god. It's okay.
You're not
like
you anything.
You can do whatever you want. It doesn't even matter. Look.
It's not even doing it.
If Rihanna can have a big ass forehead, so can you. That's fine.
Could you guys hear
love
that?
you anyways. We totally can hear you. Yes. It's fine.
All right.
So I tried to do I've had multiple surgeries on my throat. So actually when I drink,
Throat daddy.
Yeah, that's like probably my both most and least favorite thing about you.
Is that he's a throat daddy?
No, so
wait, take a sip and show her.
Show her like my drinking.
What it sounds like. Yeah.
So I tried to do that. Could you guys not hear it?
No.
Okay, let me try it again. Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna get right next to the microphone. You guys just listen. Could you hear it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first time you did it, it freaked me the fuck out.
Thank you guys for joining our show. Thank you, Jimmy, for being interviewed. All you cool cats and kittens, stay safe and quarantine.
My pleasure to be here, guys. Thank you. You nailed it, Elani. That was perfect.
Is that my ex? Shit, your ex is here.